Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Swolemates podcast with Joe
and Alyssa. I'm here today.
And this is episode 11.
Episode 11.
We finally hit a milestone, 256 subscribers. I just checked.
Yes.
You guys have been killing it. We appreciate you guys so much. We are back. I know we took a little bit of time off, lost a little bit of momentum, but
we did.
We're gonna pick it back up.
We are, now that we have this house and everything situated and a whole life figured out.
We are doubling down on content for the rest of the year.
Yes.
The goal is to get to 1,000 subs.
1,000
by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
So if you need to start wearing bikinis on the podcast,
no,
and I need to start wearing like,
which one is?
No, I was gonna say like a fruit hat or something like that.
A fruit hat.
Yeah, like like from Madagascar, those big old, like the one that.
Why don't you wear a nacho hat? That way I can eat the nachos.
Like a cheese hat. That'd be pretty cool. We need just speaking for like future reference, we need like a drink. We need like a little snack while we do these podcasts.
Okay, perfect.
We need to find like.
Because I have some water, and honestly, I'd be dying sometimes.
I meant like a real drink. Like,
oh,
you know how like Inaka podcast has like the Alani like sponsor in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get something like that. We need to figure out what we want to do. We got to start targeting them, start putting them into the podcast over and over and over.
Okay,
just go from there. So,
okay.
But we wanted to catch you guys up with life. As you guys can see, we are currently sitting in our dining room.
Different area.
Dining room. I know that you guys saw it with.
Is this the dining room?
It's like a mini dining room. It's like a. It's
I
like,
don't know what it's called.
It's like the kitchen. It's like the kitchen dining room.
Kitchen/dining.
No, like because the dining room is like
kitchen.
The dining room,
kitchen.
But then like
kitchen and dining together. Kitchen.
You just sound like you're speaking Minion. Ever since we went to go see Minions, all she wants to do is talk in Minion.
That movie was so cute. I don't know what this is called. Like our little area. Let's just say that. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, like when you have a kitchen and then you have like a dining area outside of that kitchen, but it's not the dining room because the dining room's separate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where we are. Anyway, we are we're getting ready to just like, honestly, we've been investing a lot of money into upgrading the house and getting all the stuff that we need for content and to really just take everything that we're doing to the next level. And that's one thing I forgot about. Or not forgot about, like I knew, but I just didn't.
We did not take into consideration.
I didn't grasp just how much crap you need in a house.
For a house. Not like crap, but like going from apartment, going to house, you have to like fill it up. So it's not like empty. Yeah,
you do have to fill it up. But also it's in like the small things you wouldn't think of. Like, I mean, we knew washer and dryer and stuff like that, but then you like go and you look at them and I'm like, picking out a washer and dryer was like a headache. Cause I'm like, man, if I get the wrong thing.
I did my research beforehand.
And then she was like, babe, which one do you like? And I was like, I like this one. She's like, we can't get that one. That's not a good one. I'm like, well, you asked me which one I like.
No, okay. So I did my research on Samsung and what was the other one? Whirlpool. And then.
That was it.
Is it G&E? I think it's called G&E. I don't remember. And Whirlpool was like the top one. Samsung ones literally had so many like defects or it would expire or like. Yeah, after a year it just didn't hold its value. And I was like, one, we're young. We're purchasing a freaking washer and dryer that's going to be expensive. So we definitely need to get something that's worth our money.
But so like when we're making all these investments, like I kid you not, I think we literally spent about, in the matter of a week, I think I spent about like $12,000 on crap for the house. $12,000. Yep. Like what? WTF. We had to buy a mattress, washer and dryer. Oh my gosh. New bed frame, new bed sheets. Well, I mean, we had a bed frame from the old apartment, but it was a queen. And my goodness, I'm so glad that we got a king size bed now.
Oh my gosh, it's so much
better. You know what's super annoying is Titan thinks that it's his bed. And he literally takes up about half the bed. I'm not even joking.
So much more space that he likes to like actually be on the bed. So beforehand, we didn't have that problem, huh?
Yeah, so we realized that he likes sleeping on the bed because when we lived at our old apartment, he'd always go and like sleep on my roommate's bed. And we'd always be like, what the heck? Why does he never sleep in the bed with us? And at the time we were like, oh, it would be so cute to like have him like lay with us. No, he takes up half the bed and he's like a rock. Like in the middle of the night, he'll be laying on my legs and I'm trying to move and I literally have to like, I don't want to shove him because I don't want to be rude. He's so cute. Yeah, he's like limp. And I would literally have to like get up and drag him to a different side of the bed and then like go back in bed. And then the second I lay back down, he comes and crawls and like right on my face. And then every morning when we wake up, he'll like bark, or anytime I like go and give like Alyssa kisses or anything like that, he'll like have to like weasel his way in between us and just like get in between us, and like he'll bark or he'll growl because he's like mad that we're not giving him attention.
Yeah. I feel like he's definitely a lot happier with the new house.
Oh, 100%.
Like you could just tell that he loves it here. Like he loves sleeping on the bed with us. He's definitely been a lot more cuddly, which is very strange because he's never like that. And then plus he loves backyard. He always wants to go outside now.
Yeah, he wants to go outside. He doesn't like being outside by himself though.
Yeah, he like freaks out. He's just like, Mom, where are you going?
Yeah.
Where are you going? I'm like, Titan, go potty. Because sometimes at night I do not like to go out there because there's a lot of creepy crawlers, like huge spiders.
Okay, that's okay. So let me just with our house, we have a the backyard of our house like overlooks like a big like woodsy area. So that we don't have any neighbors behind us, just neighbors to the side. So because there's like all this greenery, which is really, really beautiful, we have a ton of bugs. And like when I'm talking spiders like this big.
I feel like it's a Texas thing though. Like
literally spiders this big. It's disgusting.
Not joking.
It's horrible. And there's a ton of, for some reason, there's a ton of ants, and the ants are rude. Like we had a little like get together with friends, and they were like crawling up everyone's legs and biting them. And I was like, what is wrong with you? Freaking ants.
Joe's over there talking to ants. Hey, do not do that, Junior.
Okay.
I think we have like ant like powder down there too. Actually.
Did you, when you were a kid, like whenever you squished ants, did they smell weird?
No.
They don't smell like a weird like iron?
No.
Never. Like the little black ants?
No.
Like
I'm not over there like I would be scared to shoot.
Okay, I'm not. No. Like you like squish it, but like after you, because I used to just like sometimes be bored, I just sit there and squish ants. But like
that's why they're coming back for you.
Okay, but then like the smell from ants, like after, I don't know. Can anyone relate? I don't know if that's like I don't know if that's the thing. Anyway, so lots of bugs.
Also, lots of bugs and lots of wildlife.
Oh, we saw an armadillo.
Gosh. There was an armadillo in our backyard. He ran over one. I saw a family of raccoons.
I'm not joking.
Cross the damn street, and I was like
driving home, right? And I'm like posting. I think I was like posting a story on IG, and I like look up, and I was like, what is that? And by the time I realized it was like an armadillo, it was cars on both my sides. So I was like, well, and it was just like, and it literally sounded like I hit a freaking rock. And then I was just like, and then Alyssa said she saw the armadillo.
Yeah, I saw the armadillo just
like still
in the
walking.
Grass,
yeah,
eating.
Literally in the exact same spot.
It's so funny when they run because they wobble. Like
they're weird. To be honest, like before seeing one, if I asked you what an armadillo looked like, would you be able to describe it for me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have been able to. I would have been like, it's like that. I confuse armadillos with anteaters.
Anteaters?
You've never heard of an anteater?
Yes, I have, but they're nowhere near
or
in the same category.
To me, I don't know. That's what I always thought that they kind of look like.
If I saw an anteater,
I thought armadillos were big.
This is your house. They are big.
The one that I saw was like this big.
The one that was in our backyard, literally, first of all, I don't know where it came from. I don't know.
I don't think it was an armadillo.
It was an armadillo because Nick was here and Nick literally saw it. And Nick knows, no, that's a possum. And I was like, Nick, no, that's an armadillo. He got up, he's like, oh shit, that's an armadillo. And I was like, yeah, I told you.
We could have said
it was literally like this big. No, because they have like really sharp claws, so they could just like, eat you.
So yeah, lots of wildlife. But
also, what are they called? Vultures?
You've seen vultures in the backyard?
Yeah. No, in our like little like subdivision. Oh. In the morning, I was leaving for work. They're literally just sitting there, just like, and I was just like,
they were waiting for
I felt like this was Ice Age. They were just like, glorious food. I was like, oh, hell no, my toaster. I was like, I got to go to work.
The toaster? When are you going to get a new car?
I don't know. I need a new car.
Go buy one.
No, okay, my thing is my car's already paid off, so I think I'm just going to wait till it just finally gives out.
Spending money.
I'm going to wait till it finally gives out.
What kind of car are you going to get? You're going to get a Tesla?
Honestly, like low-key, kind of want a Tesla.
I mean, you could get just like a baseline model one.
Yeah,
you don't have to get any of the upgrades
stuff.
I'm looking at a Tesla.
But I would want like the long range because I don't have to constantly charge it.
Like how far do you drive in a day? You drive to work and back.
I've had to put gas twice this week.
Okay, but that's gas. This is electric. You charge it every night, so basically refills every night.
I guess it's true. I didn't think about that.
I mean, like, it's only like, what, 10 miles to Alphaland? So Alphaland and back in a day is 20 miles. I think on standard Teslas, you get like 275 miles before you have to charge it. You could probably go like 5 days without charging it.
That's if you're not speeding. Every time you like accelerate,
okay,
it
yeah,
was like,
okay, but also, so like when
like,
we drove it in Florida, A, I was flooring it everywhere. B, we had it for like 2 days, 3 days. We didn't charge it at all during that whole time until
just the
the
night
end.
before, yeah.
Just the night before because we had to, but it was like pretty low then.
Yeah,
I was honestly getting
like
worried. It was like
20%.
no, it was like in 10%, and I was like,
no, it wasn't. It was 20.
It was getting low. I think you weren't supposed.
Yeah,
you weren't supposed to go before.
You
weren't supposed to go below 40. Was what the Turo people said. So
they're all getting notified on their phone.
Yeah, but no, I do want a Tesla. Yeah. Maybe we'll go together. What color would you get?
Not white. I think I would do black.
See, okay, I was looking at like
black
charcoal.
Or like a silver.
I was looking at charcoal gray. I really want a Tesla plaid. I know, you're gonna roll your eyes, but like, I want that one. I don't know why. Like after riding in James's, I was like, I need this. In my life. You don't
need a fast car, sir.
Yeah, probably true.
Speed and you're on your phone as it is.
Well, see, that's the whole point of getting a Tesla. So then I can be on my phone and just set auto drive on.
That's not how it works.
That's how it works. What do you think auto drive means?
I don't know. You still gotta look at the road. I'm pretty sure you could still get a ticket.
Yeah, but I mean, they wouldn't be able to tell because my windows would be tinted.
Okay, I'm not gonna argue with this. I don't got time for this.
Anyway, so we're just filling up the house with like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we still don't have a lot of wall decorations, so it's kind of like
that's your chore.
Naked. I know.
I keep telling her, I'm like, babe, order some pictures of us. She just doesn't want to put pictures of us up in the house.
I don't know. For me, I feel like, okay, I was really talking to my friends about this at work. I feel like it's weird having a house, right? Because when you grow up in a house, your family decorates it. You don't really have a say in what, except for your room, how you set up your bedroom and like your closet. And now I'm like, damn, this is a whole ass house. Like I get to decorate it, but I'm like, what do I decorate it with? Like, what's my style? What do I like? I don't know what I like. What do we like? I was like, I don't know.
I don't get an
Those
option
are thoughts that are like,
you know what I like?
Head.
I like the cabinet full of Legos over there. That's what I like.
No.
Well, you asked what I liked.
Your Lego room, that's yours.
I know. It's going to be so sick. I literally ordered $1,000 worth of equipment for the office upstairs, the content office upstairs. It's going to be glorious.
I wish he was lying, but he's not lying.
I'm literally not lying. There's 22 packages coming this week from Amazon.
Yeah. And then, plus we have to deal with like adult problems.
Like?
Adult problems. I had to fix the washer and dryer because I'm the handy woman in the relationship. I'm just going to say that. If you need, hire me, okay? I fixed the washer and dryer.
You literally just pulled it out because it was too close to the wall.
And you wouldn't have done that.
You didn't ask me.
You wouldn't have known.
You didn't ask me. You just go, babe, it's not working. And I go, let's reset the breaker. And then it worked. And then it didn't work.
That was for the
again.
washer. I'm talking about the dryer.
Who reset the breaker for the microwave? I did.
I asked you to.
Who built the bed frame? I did.
You did.
Who's building the dressers right now?
Who connected the Nest to the Wi-Fi?
Who
I did.
Assembled all the stuff.
Them? I did.
You wanted Wi-Fi. I didn't need Wi-Fi at the time.
Yeah, of course I want
the
Wi-Fi.
Nest?
I want to be able to control the freaking temperature while I'm away. That's sick.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
House owner.
Okay, the other thing that we have to figure out is like all these like other things too. So with like our house, like surprisingly, we use a lot of electricity. Like a lot.
I mean, compared to our little tiny apartment, yeah.
No, like, yeah, I mean like fucking what?
But also,
10 times more?
He has a bad habit of leaving stuff on. No, he left his desktop on. I
leave my desktop on all
even
the time.
at the apartment, he would always he'd always leave it on, and I'd have to put it on sleep mode. And I don't know. I feel like a mom sometimes. I swear. I tell the boys, I'm like, don't forget to shut off all the lights.
You are a little mom.
I am.
So, what's this thing that I keep hearing you say about you wanting a kid?
What?
That's what you said.
When?
You said that the other day. You know it too.
Okay, you can't bring that up.
I can bring that up.
Because that was during our time.
What is this talk? What is this talk?
I was just kidding.
Oh, you were just kidding, so you don't want a kid?
No. Titan's my kid.
You want another dog? I want
another dog.
Are you still for like getting a female dog and then breeding them?
I mean, yeah, I didn't be opposed to it. But then their boobs get all saggy.
Yeah, you just got to deal with that.
Ugh.
I don't want to have to deal with that.
So. I don't want to have to deal with that either.
Can we like go through it once or like have puppies and then get them fixed? Can you not get the female dog? Yeah, you can do that. You can get them fixed, right?
Yeah.
I want puppies, like a lot of puppies. That'd be crazy.
No. What do we do with all the puppies?
Sell them. They're going to be worth so much money.
Joe's just worried about the money. You don't care about the
I'm going to get I'm just going to get a huge investment back. Titan was $1,000. We get another dog that's $1,000. We get a litter of 8 puppies for 8.
That much money if it's purebred.
It will be purebred because we're getting another.
You said you want a golden retriever.
No, it'd be too clingy. I think Titan's already clingy enough.
Oh my god, Titan's so clean.
Titan's bad.
In our room, right? It's our bathroom, and then our closet's at the end, and then the toilet is like on its own. I will literally go in there to use the restroom. I kid you not. I just hear him whining because he knows he's not allowed to go in the restroom, and he'd be like, I'm like, Tyan, can I please just use the restroom?
Don't forget the second that he hears anything by the door, the doorbell, anything. Like if someone walks in the house because the alarm goes beep, beep, beep. Every time he hears that, he barks ballistically. And since there's not a lot of furniture in the house, it echoes all over the house. And it is so loud. And everyone's like, man, he's such a tiny dog, but he's got such a loud bark. I'm like, yeah, he's annoying. But like every time, like if I open the door, if a door's closed, like so last night, Alyssa was asleep and I came into bed like late and I opened the door. He knew I was home. The second I like put my hand on the handle, he just like jumped up, started barking, and then woke you up. And I was like,
yeah, I didn't even know what was going on. I was like,
I know she was so mad. She was like, why are you coming into to bed so late? I was like, I was ordering stuff online.
I was like, oh my God.
But
it's expensive. Also, we have to freaking security to get that set up. I mean, we already have security thing, but then it's like, that's another thing that I do not like about a house, which I respect the hustle, but it's kind of annoying.
What?
It's like the door-to-door sales.
We've only had one. And the kid was pretty cool.
There was a solar one. No, that's what I'm saying. He was cool. I respect the hustle. But then there was a solar one. And I don't like it, not because I'm like, oh my God, they're annoying. I don't like it because I get so anxious and so nervous that I don't know how to say no. So then I'm just like, okay. Like, and they just want to keep going.
You know how to say no pretty quick to me.
No.
Just act like that's me.
No, because I don't want to hurt their feelings.
But you'll hurt my feelings?
Yeah.
Why?
You're my boyfriend.
Fuck, what was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh no, but overall, because we're going off on a tangent here. Sorry. We're gonna get really distracted. Anyway, one thing that we really noticed with being in the house is just the mood shift within ourselves, within our relationship of just like being in a like environment that we really, really enjoy. It's just been so much better. So like when we first moved to Houston, I think we were in a pretty good headspace when we first moved to Houston. Like, we were having a lot of fun exploring new things, doing new things together and whatnot. Same with being at like when I was at my apartment, when you moved in to my old apartment in New Mexico, like you being there, it was like fun. We got to do things together. It was like, we had game nights and stuff like that. And, which I miss game nights, by the way. We need to start doing those again.
I need to do Risk. We should do Risk tonight. I'd beat you again.
You want to play?
Yeah.
Down. But like being in a new environment has been just like so beneficial for like us, like mentally. Like I used to hate being at the apartment. Like I literally just like, I hated being at the apartment. Like it just felt like
so like, I don't know. The energy was just not it.
I think it just felt weird. Like, it just didn't feel like home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just felt like a place to sleep and like throw my stuff around. But I think it was because it was also small. Yeah. So it being so small, it made me feel like it felt really like crammed and clustered because the desk, the bed, the like dresser, the TV, everything was in our room and it was so cramped. Like our room now is huge. And I have this like
almost have too much space.
It's like, yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like we have a lot of space that we should fill, but then I'm also like, no, having this open space is nice. And like same with like our house, like just everything is so much more open and I like keeping it open.
I love that it's open and I love all the natural light that comes. I'm really big on light because I feel like light determines your mood. Like if you're in a dark house, you're going to feel like bleh. But then if you're in a house that there's like a lot of natural light, you just feel like a lot happier. Yeah,
I will agree with that. Like I love the whole setup of our house. So that's definitely been really helpful. But yeah, buying shit has been expensive. Yes. But you know, it's one of those things that like you have to buy it and then you don't really buy it again. But one of the big things that I've absolutely loved about having a house is the ability to just connect with all of our friends so much more. Like I'm like a host person. Like I love throwing parties and being the host.
Yeah.
Cooking food for people, having people come over. Like if I could, I would have people come over every weekend, which would drive Alyssa crazy.
It would drive me crazy because I'm such a clean freak.
Yeah.
That like as soon as everyone leaves, I'm like, oh, I have
but
to
like
start
literally
cleaning.
like anytime I'm like talking to my clients or like friends or anything like that, I'm like, yo, you want to come over to the house? They're like, yeah, sure. And the thing is everyone loves our house.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, it's so nice. Like we'll have friends come over that literally just pop themselves on the couch, watch TV, and we'll literally just be doing like our normal chores or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're just chilling at the house watching TV. I'm like, this is so nice. Like that's one of the best things that I love about it. And I finally have a grill. I bought a hibachi grill.
A black grill.
Blackstone grill. Yeah. It's like it's probably like it's like a little bit smaller than
it's
this
honestly
table.
nice.
So nice. I can meal prep all the chicken at once.
Mm-hmm.
So much easier. Everything tastes so much better. Like
Yeah.
I think because I was talking to Nick about this, right? And he was like, Joe, the house isn't magical, right? There's nothing special about the house. But what's special about the house is that you just have a better mindset and mentality surrounding where you are and what you're doing. And that's 100% the case. So if you guys feel like you're in a position where like you're stuck, you don't like where you are, make changes. Like it's not a bad thing to like move. It's not a bad thing to move states. Like move states multiple times. Like I think we've just fallen so in love with it here that I think we'd find it hard to leave for sure. But like I know that at one point we talked about, well, maybe we'll go move in, maybe we'll go like live in Tampa for a little bit, or maybe we'll go live in Colorado or something like that. Like I think that we found it here and we love it here and we'll stay here until we find a reason to like go move elsewhere. But for you guys that like if you're in a spot that you don't like, whether it's an apartment, you're with a roommate you don't like, or you're just in a situation you don't like, a state, city, no matter where it is, don't be afraid to move. Like I know it's scary to move. I know it's a little tedious, it's a little annoying, it's frustrating, it's expensive.
It's scary not knowing, you know.
Yeah, and
Fear
the big
the
thing,
unknown.
you know, like and yeah, it's expensive to move. Like moving all your stuff. Like we had to pay for movers, we had to pay for all sorts of fees and whatnot. But like once you do, like you're going to be so much more successful because of the headspace surrounding where you are.
Oh yeah,
100%. So you know, put yourselves in situations where you can win. 100% is definitely what I would say.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that is so true because so like obviously in the apartment when we were there, I could not drop weight at all, and I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what's going on, you know? And then which is so weird, as soon as we picked the house, got everything situated, and I was actually really stressed. I was kind of scared that like I was gonna be very like watery and stuff for my check-ins. And then I remember the first week being here, and then I had my check-ins, I took my pictures, and I was like, what the heck? That is literally not me. I literally like toned like that.
Yeah.
So like your environment plays such a huge role in your life.
Yeah. 100%. So we've been absolutely loving the house. So it's been a great, you know, change of scenery and whatnot.
It's really weird. Okay. It's really weird. I'm just going to say this because I think it's funny. It's weird having neighbors.
I've never
like at
seen
apartment. Oh, I've seen them. So like our apartment, right? Everyone is like
weird?
different ages. No, it's not that they're weird. It's just weird because I feel like we're at a place.
Okay,
kinda.
you know what's
because they're a lot older.
Okay, here's what's weird to me. Okay, sorry.
Let me finish.
You give me the death look.
So like one of our neighbors, Joe's gonna make fun of me. I have a thing for old people.
Oh my god.
If I see an old person, I will literally start crying. I know, babe. I know. I don't want to talk about it.
She sees someone elderly and she's just like, oh my God, I can't believe they're out walking around. Like, what are they doing? Or like, they'll be like living their life. We'll be at a store and she'll see like some old person super happy, really nice. And they'll be like, hey, do you want to go in front of us or whatever? We're like, no, it's okay. And Alyssa will be like, oh my God, why are they not at home with their grandkids? Like, who knows when they're going to die? I'm like... Well, like we would literally at the Whataburger by our house, there was like an older gentleman.
Don't talk about it, please.
There was an older gentleman that worked there. And every time he would be like, all right, here, and we'd like give him the change. And Alyssa's like in tears handing him the change and stuff. And I was like,
I think it's because one time we went at night and he was taking the trash out and I just saw him taking the trash out and it made me really sad.
Okay, but here's the thing to remember, right?
It doesn't matter what the reasoning is. Like,
no,
I'm always feel sentimental towards it.
So what do you expect us to do when you're old?
I don't know.
Cry for you?
No.
Are you going to cry for the other old people? I can't believe Betty's old with me.
Probably. And so anyways, our neighbor literally gets out of the car and I'm expecting like a mom, because it's like a mom car, kids come out, old man and his dusty white dog, and I was like, fuck.
Why do the old guys always have the dusty poodles that
I was
are
making
nasty?
TikToks in the driveway, like in my car, and I was just like,
oh no, okay, but real question: why do like old people have this fascination with like having little small yippity yappity dogs that are like white with like all these like brown shit stains on them that smell bad,
all right.
and they are in love with those dogs? You don't gotta call people
out, okay?
They're in love with those dogs. What is the fascination with that?
It's the bond.
No, what, like literally, what's the fascination? Those dogs are ugly. They're annoying.
To you.
Okay. Do you want a little yappy? Why don't we get one of those little yappy dogs? The little.
I want a Dachshund. Those are so cute. Little wiener dogs. Little hot dog.
No, babe. No.
Okay, fine. Anyways, and then our neighbor on the other side of us has a whole ass family, and I was just like, yeah, we out here, we chilling.
I know.
We're like probably the youngest one. I know we're the youngest ones because this morning I was really playing out of the driveway, and I look and I see a neighbor a couple blocks down. Their daughter's doing the walk of shame, and I was like, damn.
Their daughter was doing the walk of shame into the house or what?
To the house.
Oh, from like the boyfriend? Like the boyfriend was dropping him off?
Yeah. And I was like, damn, I remember that. And I was like, all right, gotta go to work.
Do you remember when you did that with me? Or when I did that with you? You did the walk of shame. I felt so bad because your mom was working out and I was like, oh, she looks scary. I was like, your mom looks scary. She for real did. Yeah, your mom.
Oh, yeah.
I'm she just like, dang. She looked scary.
I don't know. It kind of feels good though because it's like, wow, I really have my shit together.
Here's a real question. When is the appropriate time to like make big purchases, right? That's the big thing that I keep like trying to wrap my head around, right? Because I think when we're growing up, you know, we're from based on what, you know, what our parents did and whatnot, it was always like, okay, go to college, get our 9-to-5 job, work a couple of years, you know, get married, get a house, start making the big purchases, start a family. And then from there, it's like, once you have a kid, it's like, oh yeah, like it makes sense that they have this car, they have that car. Of course they have a house because they have a kid. Like that's the way that I kind of envision it, right? Like the thought of, okay, being married and having a kid in like a small apartment just seems weird to me because I'm, you know, growing up, everyone that I knew, once they got married and had a kid, or like once they got married, they got a house and then they had a kid. So like having those like orders reversed seems like weird. And, like for me, I'm like, okay, like I want to get a Tesla. And it's like, when do I like make that car? Like, when do you make that purchase? Cause it's like, do I wait 2 more years till then I'm this age? But it's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, if I could afford it now, why not get it now? Like, why not buy it now if I could get it now? Or why would I wait 2 years and then get it just because I'm like, oh yeah, now that I'm 25, I feel like I could get a car. You know, I feel like it's one of those weird things. So same with like having a house. That's why it feels so weird.
Yeah.
Like literally like, so we had a housewarming party and we had all of our amazing friends being like, it's so like big to get a house and this and that. And for Alyssa and I, we were kind of just like, okay, well, we needed a bigger space. It made sense to get a house with more rooms.
Especially with like prices going up in rent. It's like, why am I going to pay $2,000 for rent when I could just get a house?
And we both pay on the house, right? So it was kind of like per person. It was actually not that expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like, but like, you know, all of our friends were like, man, it's so amazing. You're 22, you have a house and this and that. And it was like, yeah, that is crazy. It was like, yeah, that's really crazy. And like every week I got to go shopping. I got to fill up the fridge. Like, I feel like all this, I really feel like a dad. But like, it feels so weird. And I think it's because, you know, when you're not going with the norm of like society is when you just feel like off about it. Like, am I doing something right? Am I doing something wrong? Right. Cause everyone our age. So I feel like for us, we've kind of like settled down. Right. I feel like now that we have our house, you know, we're kind of just like, we know the path that we're going to take. Like we know where we're going to go. I feel like a lot of the other people our age are still trying to figure out what they're going to do for work or this or that. You know? I just feel like we grew up and like matured so fast. And I feel like that all happened in a matter of 6 months.
Yeah.
Like in January, like if I had, like, say we started talking about this on episode 1 of the podcast,
I would be laughing. Like,
we were not thinking about a house. We were not thinking about this. We were not thinking about making these big purchases. What, $12,000 in a week, like on freaking washers, dryers, mattresses, couches, things like that. Like what? It's crazy how fast life moves sometimes. And, you know, sometimes you have to just kind of like, and what I've been really appreciating lately is just stopping, sitting back and being like, man, I love this shit. You know, like spending time with friends and whatnot, which I already told all my friends, but I got to brag about this because I'm so excited about this. So again, love hosting parties. Our house has
Christmas.
The Christmas party at our house is going to be like fucking phenomenal.
Our house is going to look like Christmas. Have you ever threw up in it?
Literally, like in such a exquisite way. I will literally probably drop thousands of dollars on Christmas decorations just to
that's what we should put up there is a train track.
A what?
A train track. Like a little mini village in that little where the door is, that little loft thingy.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be.
That would be okay.
Yeah.
I like the way you think. Okay. This past Christmas, I think we spent like
not that
$600 or $700 on Christmas. That's still a lot.
I mean,
people our age living in an apartment don't buy Christmas decorations. How many people did we know that didn't even buy a Christmas tree? Or they bought like a $20 tree at Target, and I was like, why would you not just...
It doesn't matter about the price. It's about the memories.
Okay, well, the memories here are going to be insane because I'm literally going to put like a 13 fucking foot tree right over here in the living room. I'm going to put one upstairs in the loft. So that there's going to be trees everywhere. Our electrical bill in the month of December is going to be... Okay, actually not December. November, December, January. Probably October.
It should already come down for January.
Mid-January, it'll start coming down. Okay, but like... literally the second Halloween is over, it's going up. I want 2 months of full Christmas here.
That means we could do like inflatable stuff.
I didn't even think of that. Yo, okay.
Even in the backyard. For Halloween, we should get like a 12-foot skeleton.
We're gonna have so many fun parties here. Anyway.
That'd be so cool.
But what I really want to do for Christmas to like show appreciation to all my friends and clients and whatnot, just the fact that they're our friends, is I want to throw this huge Christmas party where I'll probably try and hire like either a chef or two servers and then like a bartender and have like all of our friends over for like a really nice exquisite dinner.
Everyone should just dress up.
Prepared. Yeah, like it'll be a dress up. Cute. I want to have like a picture station where we can get like one of those like little spinning picture things. Like I want to do like a throw like a big party, and like that's the gift to like all of the friends. Like we could they come over and this is our gift to them, is like we're gonna make dinner and all this stuff, which it really probably wouldn't be that expensive.
It honestly won't. I mean, you can find catering anyone here.
Oh, 100%. Like I want like a private chef to come in, make the entire thing, and then and do like a big just like a big thing, and then get like 2 servers to come in or whatever. Or if we have like, you know, people, we could easily find people to be servers, and then get a bartender to come in and like serve drinks all night. Like that'll be so sick.
That's purchase what I do want is a hot tub.
Why?
Because it already has a connection for it.
It's Houston.
But
it's a hot tub outside
in winter. Winter's coming. You know how cool that'll be?
Okay, maybe in winter we'll talk about it.
Like at your sister's.
Yeah, a hot tub would be pretty dope. Honestly, a hot tub would be pretty dope.
And then we already have the lights.
You know, hot tub would be pretty sick. But you know what? The purchase we need to get first.
Can a hot tub be hot and cold? Like a cold tub?
It can't be a cold tub. I don't think so. Otherwise, it's just like a cesspool of filth.
Ew. Let's get an ice bath.
Okay, no. What I was saying is we need to get a treadmill for the garage. And I was thinking about getting a 1 or 2 person sauna. I heard they're not that expensive.
That would be pretty cool for the space we have.
This is literally going to be the most ridiculously bougie house for the fact that like, how long are we going to be in this house?
Us and our health.
How long are we going to be in this house though? Honestly, I mean, I'll stay here for years until they like.
Yeah, same. To like, all right, leave.
Like, landlord's like, all right, get the fuck out.
Our landlord is so cool. He loves us.
Super chill.
He's so chill.
I mean, he loves me, but. Okay, pull up some of the questions that people were asking on IG. Okay. So we put out a little poll. If you guys aren't following us on IG, I mean, I feel like everyone's following us on IG. I feel like there's not that many people that like are randomly scrolling YouTube and find our podcast, but we got a couple questions for you guys, or questions that people asked us. Talk about on the podcast. Okay. Can you screenshot this so that way we can put the podcast or the questions up?
Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot. Okay. Start from the bottom and just pick one.
Some relationship advice, going through rough patches, etc. One thing I would say, and I think this is something that Joe and I had to learn, is that we would always, it'd be the problem. How do I want to word this? It would be the problem versus us instead of us versus the problem. So we would make the problem. How do I want to word this? I don't know how.
Okay, so I know exactly what you're talking about, right? So we kind of like in the process of moving, right after we moved, before we moved, I'd say we were definitely in a rough patch. Yeah, a rough patch just being like didn't know what we wanted to do. We didn't know if we wanted to stay together. We were just kind of getting frustrated. And realistically, what it came down to is we were fighting against each other. We weren't fighting against the problem. The problem being that there just wasn't, like, we were too comfortable.
The problem was creating more problems because we were letting it create more problems.
The root problem that we figured out was there was no effort and that we were just comfortable, right? The second that I started saying, okay, fuck however I feel about Alyssa not doing this or not doing that, or like blaming her for this or that, let me just, I literally had to think about it as like, okay, if we had been talking for like a week or two, and like I wanted to win you over, like I wanted to like win your love, right? What would I do? And I started kind of just acting like that. So when Alyssa was spending time with me, it was kind of just like, okay, let me give you my undivided attention, not on my phone, not doing this or that, right? When Alyssa's at work, okay, if I'm going to work, can I bring her something, right? Because my love language is giving gifts. So it's like, can I bring her something? Starbucks, flowers, coffee, right? These flowers right here. When I was getting groceries the other day, I literally just grabbed them, $7. I just grabbed them and I set them on the bed and it made her so happy. But like,
I love flowers.
Those small, like I quit doing that for a while because it was just kind of like, it's not, I feel like I definitely wasn't just, like I just wasn't thinking about it as much. But like now my constant thought is, okay, what can I do to like make Alyssa happy at the same time as like making myself happy? Because when I put in effort, when I do those things for you, it makes me happy. That's my love language, right?
Yeah.
And I think like, like same for you.
And then his is receiving gifts. So not physically receiving gifts, but like even like small things, like me cooking for you or bringing you food up to the office while you're working or while you're doing whatever you are doing. That definitely helps you because it's like, oh, you don't have to worry about it. It's already done.
And I think the big thing too is like not making it like a one-up game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like definitely not a one-up game. Like if I do a one-up game where like I got her flowers and I'm like, all right, let me sit back and see what she does for me. And then I just like wait, it's gonna make me frustrated because then when I don't get that, or if I don't get what I'm expecting, so I'm like, oh, I got her flowers, I hope she gets me this. I hope she gets me a candy bar. If she doesn't get me a candy bar, now I'm gonna be upset. It's like you're setting yourself up for like being frustrated.
Yeah.
So I think just like go about just like doing it. Now, the other thing is like you can very easily see when like you're wasting time in a relationship. If you're putting in a lot of effort and you communicate like, hey, I know that things kind of been rough right now. I'm going to try and put in a lot more effort, like emphasize the things that you love, right? And just the things that we both enjoy doing, things I enjoy doing for you and things that you enjoy me doing for you, right? And when you start doing that, the other person just like acts like they don't care. Well, like now you're wasting your time, right? Yeah. So like, and that's kind of when Alyssa and I were going through a rough patch. I communicated with her. I was just like, okay, I'm going to put in as much effort as I can. I'm going to do I'm going to do my stuff. I'm going to make sure I'm emphasizing your love languages. I'm going to make sure that I'm spending time with you and like giving you the time of day. And I communicated that to her. And if I wasn't getting that back, so like if let's just say that you were just receiving and like not giving any like love back, regardless of what it was, whether it was just time or attention or love languages, gifts, things like that, doing things for me, things like that. If you weren't, then I'd be like, okay, well, like I'm putting a lot of effort and energy into a relationship that's not being reciprocated. This is no longer beneficial for me or for you realistically. Because if I'm putting in a lot of effort and you're not putting any effort back in, then you're just like, you're wasting your time. Yeah.
You're wasting each other's time.
I think just having that communication, but I think that's what helped Alyssa and I just started putting a lot more effort in and I enjoyed it. Like I was happier doing things for you than I was like complaining or griping about the things that you weren't doing.
I mean, I feel like as a person, as a human, it's very easy for us to get caught up in like those negative things. Yeah. You know, to get caught up in your head and be like, oh my God, well, I'm not happy where I'm at. And it's like, okay, if you're not happy where you're at in your relationship, you need to sit back, think about what you can fix and if it is fixable. Yeah. And if the other person you're with is wanting to fix those things as well.
And if it's not fixable, then like, then it's not fixable.
Yeah.
Then but like communicating about that, but there's nothing wrong with saying like, look, this just doesn't work anymore. Yeah. And when we got out of our rough patch, we literally said that to each other. We said, okay, hey, this, like, I don't want this to ever happen again. Mm-hmm. Right. So to make sure things like don't get to this point again, if we both feel like things aren't working, like let's sit down, let's talk about it and let's find what's best for us, whether that's moving on from each other or whether that's fixing things again. But let's communicate about it and let's like, and understand that like, it's okay. Like it's okay to grow apart. Like if you do grow apart, it's okay. Like it's not the end. It's not, so-and-so's fault or this or that. It's like, sometimes that happens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sometimes
and
things
usually
just don't work out.
And usually it'll happen from like, I would say like career success or like just visions change. So if my vision changes and I'm like, I want to go travel Europe. I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. And I want to leave all of our stuff here and I want to just go. If that doesn't align with your vision anymore, you're kind of just like, well, that's not like what I want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And now it's no longer beneficial for you. So I can't sit here and go, like, F you because you don't want to go and do X, Y, and Z with me.
You can't sacrifice your own happiness.
Right. And so it's, you can't, you can't be mad at the other person not meeting those expectations when, if they change or they're different from when you initially kind of, I guess, first met. The goal is to grow together.
Yeah.
But if that doesn't happen, then just understand, like, do what's best for you. If that means walking away from the relationship, sometimes you got to do that.
Sometimes you just got to walk away.
And sometimes if you walk away, like, understand, like, have that mutual connection of just like, okay, look, if we walk away and come back together later in the future, like, that's okay fine, as well. Yeah. Like, maybe we just need some, like, not a break, but like time away. Like, if our visions change.
Yeah. Cause like, as a person, you're always changing, right? Mm-hmm. You're growing up, you're always changing. Your thoughts are always changing. Your career is always everything's always changing.
Yeah.
So maybe, say for instance, you met each other at a very young age when you're pretty much kids,
High
right?
School, yeah.
Yeah. Like, being an adult, you're going to be a completely different person. Same for your partner. And mm-hmm. it's okay for you to not be together and then to come back. Because sometimes that's what you have to do.
Yeah. Like, again, if, I would never, let's just say Alyssa was like, hey, I really want to pursue this career. And that means that I just don't have time for a relationship. And like, she couldn't give me the love that I needed or the things that I needed. Like, that's okay. Yeah. Like, it's okay to be like, and I just need to be understanding of that, being like, okay, like, this is what you're focused on. And if it's, if that's the true intention, if it's truly like, okay, look, let me focus on this right now. I'm gonna put you kind of like to the side for a little bit and focus on this, get this set. That's okay. But if that's just a scapegoat for like something else, then that's where the issue comes in. And that's what
also then you know.
Then you know.
Yeah.
All right,
so another one is it weird for people to approach you, fans, at Elfland? Honestly, no. Okay, I get this all the time. People think that I'm like so rude or so mean.
Show them the resting bitch face so they know.
But I swear, when I'm at Elfland, guys, like, if you know me, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'd be going on these random rants, like, what pops up in my head. I literally think of like a million things. I wish I was joking. I'm literally not. A million things at once. And to not show or like talk to myself, because I'd be talking to myself in my head, I'm just like this. But then as soon as you approach me, oh my God, it literally changes my whole day. And also I could just be having a bad day. And then the second someone approaches me or like starts talking to me, has a conversation with me, or wants to take pictures with me, like, it literally just changes my mood because I feed off of their energy, and I'm just like, ugh.
And it's also really cool to see like people being inspired by things that you're saying or doing.
Yeah.
It just kind of makes you be like,
it's like,
I had no idea, because then you get to meet the people that like support you and you're like, okay, that's dope, and you meet all sorts of different people. And like, I'm a people person. Like, I love talking to people, so it's never an issue for me.
I always had an issue talking to people, but not
She was pretty shy at first, but not anymore.
Like, I love talking to people. Sometimes I feel like I talk too much, and I'm just like, all
right. Let's do a couple more.
Balancing life when someone is on prep and the other isn't.
So let's just
That's a good one.
Let's take this for the example, maybe not even prep, but just when someone's focusing on something, right? So if I'm focusing on growing the business, right? If I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this. So I'm working long nights, right? Because it's something that we kind of came through, right?
Yeah.
Let's just take me like working these long hours, long nights, doing all this stuff, whether it was for the Olympics or for Alphaland or whatever. That was definitely an adjustment for you. And I think the biggest thing is just saying, like, you will have phases throughout the relationship where someone is going to require 80% of the attention and you will only receive 20, and you've got to be okay with that. And there's other times that that's going to flip flop.
Yep.
Normally you want it to be even 50-50, right? 50-50, you're doing all your stuff, you're evenly giving to each other. But sometimes, like, if Alyssa's having a bad day, I'm going to give everything that she needs, everything that I have, I'm going to put into her, and I'm not going to expect anything in return. And I would hope the same would be vice versa, So I think you just approach it that same way. Someone's on prep. Okay, well, prep's not forever. Yeah. 16 weeks, 12 weeks. Just do the best you can to support them.
Yeah.
And I think, just like talking someone down, like, oh, you're always at the gym, you never this or that. But understand, just because you are in prep or you are focusing on the business or this or that doesn't give you an excuse to not try at all. And I think that was part of the issue that we had when we were both in prep, was just, or like, especially when you were in prep, you were just exhausted. And it was just like,
so
I'm in prep, I can't do X, Y, and Z. And it was like, okay, well, we got to find a way to work around this. Maybe you don't have a lot of energy. Can you give me 30 minutes? Can you give me an hour and a half? Right? Maybe not this big, long, extravagant date, but can we go like, just like watch a movie together, or like something that was just, and it's just got to be communicated.
You, when you were in prep, like obviously he couldn't eat a lot of stuff like when we first met. And I feel like this also helped us be understanding of like prep, or understanding of,
you were amazing when I was in prep.
Is like going on in our lives is when Joe and I first met, he was in prep. I didn't know what the hell prep was.
She was trying to win me over. She was like,
okay, but he obviously couldn't eat whatever he wanted. He had a strict diet, whereas me, I never weighed food in my life. I didn't even know there was a food scale. And so like his way of like being able to like not enjoy different foods, but like was cooking. He would cook for me. He would cook for me, or he would bake for me stuff that he couldn't eat. So that right there was a lot of willpower. And I feel like that was a way of like, oh, you know, I can't eat this. This sounds good, but you know what? Let me make this for you, because I feel like you'll enjoy it. And I did enjoy it. I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Like, but every single weekend, it was something new. But
like, so when I was in prep, when we first met, Alyssa would come work out with me. She'd go after work when she was exhausted. She would do cardio with me, and like, she didn't have to do it at the same intensity. Like, so like, let's just say your significant other's in prep. Wake up with them. Go do fasted cardio with them, right? And like, just walk on the treadmill, or just hang out, talk, watch, just be there. You don't have to, you know, like, you don't have to like talk or have these conversations. Just be there and be supportive.
Yes.
And that's one of the things that we talked about that we're trying to start doing again is, if Alyssa has to wake up early for work, I want to start waking up as well. And we do it together. It's kind of like a way, not like suffering together, but also just kind of like just encouraging each other. Because we both kind of agreed, and we kind of fucked up this weekend because you had to work early and I kept going to bed late.
I know.
But it's so hard for us physically and mentally to like, especially with like how Titan's super cuddly in the morning and Alyssa's always sleepy. So like when I have to get up and get out of bed and leave the two of them, it's like so hard for me. It's like, I'm like, man, I don't want to like leave, like, cause I'm happy with like right now, like going back to bed sounds like the better option. And I'm always tempted to do that. And so when you have someone that can support you, that can just be like, all right, let's wake up together. Let's go do this. Let's grind. Let's get this done. It's so much easier, right? Versus saying, Alyssa, clean the house. It's like, let's clean the house together and then let's watch a movie, right? Like so much easier to do things like that.
So. I also feel like it's easy to like get stuck in your head, especially for like a female perspective, because we always get like, we overthink a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's very easy to be like, oh, well, he's doing, like, say for instance, you're up late working, right?
Yeah.
Last night I could have been like, oh my God, like, why are you up late? Why are you doing this? Like, you should be in bed. And I'm just like, no, like, he needs to be grinding his business. And I was like,
she went to bed on her own. And normally she would normally, like, I think at the old apartment, she'd always, because you didn't like sleeping by yourself at the old apartment, you'd be like, babe, come on this, come on that. And I would get frustrated because I'd be like, oh, I'm trying to work on this. I'm trying to work on that. Like, I'm focused right now. So like last night, she literally just like went to bed. And then when I was done working, I was like, I can't wait to go in bed and like lay in there with her. And like, it was a little bit of a different change because we weren't normally like that. But like, you were super content with just like going laying down with Titan, watching TV in the room. Like, and that was kind of like a first that I kind of see for that. But you could just tell you're a lot more comfortable now. And you're a lot more relaxed in terms of like, not always having your guard up, like, well, why are you working so late? Well, why are you doing this? Well, why are you doing that? And I think that always helps too, because when you're always, and this is something that Alyssa and I have dealt with, is like when we're always questioning each other or questioning what's the other person's doing, it makes it frustrating because you're always like playing defense. It's like you're playing defense and then I'm playing defense because you're attacking me with your defense. And so it's like, you know, when you can kind of just understand and be like, okay, well, if that's how you see things, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense why you did X, Y, and Z. Like, it makes sense why you're up late working because, you know, you woke up late this morning. Like, that's not a bad thing. There's no rules. There's no rules. Like, that's okay for the future. Let's try and go to bed together, right? Yeah. And that, instead of being like making a fight over it.
I mean, and even if it were to become like a problem, like an every single day thing, then I would approach you and be like, hey, like, I'm noticing this.
Well, yeah, if I'm going to bed at 3 a.m. every morning, that's like rude. Not good for your health. But, and it's just, what's respectful for the relationship? And I think that's what you got to figure out.
Yeah.
Like, how can you respect the other person at the same time of requesting what you need? So a really good example to kind of like tie into something else completely different is, so at one point when we, I think this was like in like February it was probably like November or December. There was a point where I think from just things that had happened in your past relationship, you were getting really frustrated when I would comment on like other influencers.
Oh yeah, this was like
pictures. This was a long time ago.
Maybe this was when we first started dating.
No, I think it was 2020, 2021. It was like last year, and we sat down because we kind of had like an argument about it, right? Because I was like trying to support like some of the other influencers that like were in the Anaka group or something like that. And, if you're not careful with like different things that
the Knocker group, it was not that. It was something else. I think I know.
I think what it was is like, so emojis, right, carry a lot of intention behind them almost. Mm-hmm. But when you're a guy, you really don't think about it that much. You know what I mean? I'm like,
that's okay.
Okay.
No, that's an excuse.
No. Let me finish.
Stop saying that.
Let me finish.
I get so annoyed when guys say that. I'm like, no, you know what you're doing.
No,
stop. It's not a guy.
Let me say this, right? If I'm typing or whatever, like we can see things differently, right? What I see is just like like just like a regular like caption or like not thinking about it in that way. You might see as like, oh, that's flirting or that's this or that's that. Right. And so I think at the time, the argument that we were having was liking pictures, right? Liking a post that they would make or whatever. Because I remember we had like a huge fight about it and you were talking about.
I feel like it depends on the type of post.
It depends. Well, I think it was because of who it was or something. I don't know if you like didn't like them or didn't know them or didn't like the stuff that they posted normally or whatever. I don't know what it was. But when it's like, I think we were having an argument about it of like, oh, like I don't want you doing X, Y, and Z or whatever. And now when those situations pop up, right? Because they're always going to constantly happen, right? Someone says something like if, someone says something at like the club, like, so here's the thing, difference between Alyssa and I'm just really nice. Like I don't like being mean to people or stuff like that. Like, so let's just say.
You choose to be nice.
I choose to be nice to everyone, but I'm like that with everybody. So I can't say like, oh, it's selective. I'm not rude to one person and really nice to the other. I'm nice to everyone. And you know that because you've been with me for a long time. But like people will come up to us at the club or whatever, like a bartender will be talking to me. It'd be like, she'll be like flirting or whatever. And I'm just like being nice. I'm just like, oh, okay. Or something like that. Alyssa's very much like, don't bug me.
No, bartender, I don't care. That's her job. That's how they get
tips.
But
okay, bartender, I'm just giving a scenario, right? Bartender, server. I'm just giving a scenario.
Server. I've never been rude to a server.
Huh?
I've never been rude to a server.
No. I'm giving scenarios for like people, right?
Oh.
Let's just say that, different couples at a restaurant and the server's being a little flirty. You're just being like nice, like, oh, okay, thank you, or whatever, smiling back or anything like that. Just like to not be rude.
I would be like, babe, get the discount, hurry.
But it's definitely happened before where Alyssa's gotten upset about something when, I was being overly friendly, right? But in my eyes, I was just being overly friendly. Like, well, I don't want to be rude, but I'm just going to, okay, yeah, like, just kind of like agreeing or yeah, sure. Or like just still entertaining the conversation where I very clearly could have just been like, okay, yeah, I'm going to walk away. Right. Mm-hmm. But I was just kind of entertaining it because I was just like trying not to be rude. You were seeing it as like, oh, like what, like, not flirting, but like you were just seeing it as like suspicious, right? Like, well, why were you entertaining the conversation that long? But for me, I saw it like, okay, I was just trying to be nice. I was trying not to be rude to someone, you know what I mean? And the conversation that we kind of had was just like, just basically saying like, okay, well, so like Alyssa says, hey, Joe, I'm really upset that you did this or X, Y, and Z, right? I'm really upset that you were overly smiley with the server. I'd be like, oh, okay. Like what we've learned to do is be like, okay, babe, like, I'm sorry that I gave you like that impression that I was like flirting with her. That wasn't my intention. My intention was this, but I'll remember that for future. So that way that scenario doesn't happen again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what we've talked about. Like, oh, like I didn't realize it made you feel that way. I didn't realize it made you feel that way. So I apologize, but for future, I will correct this instead of blowing up and being like, what, and getting defensive. Cause then when you get defensive, then it looks like you're guilty and like all this different stuff.
Yeah.
So we've kind of learned to just kind of do that. And I think that helps a lot. I really rambled on that story because I was trying to like figure out how to like say it. Well, because you kept giving me the death stare. I was like, no, like we literally had this conversation like not that long ago.
I remember. I don't know.
One thing
I do not like about guys is that they're like, oh, I'm a guy. No, first of all, you know what you're doing. You're using that as an excuse. So stop. And I feel like guys don't think about stuff like that. Like as a woman, we're very emotional and we look into everything and So like, say a scenario, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but like, say a guy comes up to me, right, and is like flirting with me, and he's making it very known that he's flirting with me. Obviously, I'm gonna cut it off like right away. Whereas like if a guy there's a female flirting with him, they're gonna be clueless and they're not gonna cut it off because they don't want to hurt her feelings. But I'm just like, why do her feelings matter? They don't.
They don't. Same but like, guy. I don't want to be rude.
Bro, you're feeling. Get out of here.
Yeah, but you don't want to be rude. I don't know. We look at it differently. They don't know
me, so I'm like, I don't like. Care.
You look at it differently. You're crying over the old guy at Whataburger.
That's different because he's old and he's a kind person.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if, like, let's just say that the old guy.
I'm not saying like be rude, but I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, I got a girl. That's it. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't feel like you should have to walk around with like a red flag that says like, woohoo, I got a girlfriend. Like, back the fuck up, like with knives. No, yeah, shit.
Definitely not like that. But I think you don't have to entertain certain conversations because it can get you in trouble.
Right, but I think that it's more rude. Like for these, let's just say for these other females that are very overly protective, overly jealous, right? That say like, I don't want you talking to anybody. So if a girl looks in your direction, if a girl's talking to you, right? So like if people come and talk to me, right? I'll be like, I mean, everybody knows I'm with Alyssa. And that's why like in a relationship, I make it very just like clear. Like everyone knows, like I make the relationship very clear. So everyone knows I'm in a relationship with you. And like they always see me at the gym with you, like, and I'm not afraid to like hide it or anything like that. So because I make it really clear, most people know coming up. So that this scenario of like someone coming up and flirting with me, unless they don't know me, doesn't ever really happen. And I don't really ever go out without you. So it's, it doesn't really ever happen. But I think that like I think it's more rude if someone comes up and it's just like being nice, right? Like asking questions or this or that. I think it's more rude to just be like, I have a boyfriend, you need to back up.
Oh yeah.
Like, for example, last week, I was like training my clients and I saw Jesse James came up to you and he was asking you questions for his like YouTube channel. And those questions are always like sexual related ones.
Yeah, right? I definitely did not know that. That should come me off guard.
Yeah, they're always like sexual related questions. Like, oh,
Caroline and I just got done with our workout. We're literally drenched in sweat. I'm over here trying to catch my breath because I have a cough, as you guys cannot tell. I don't know why I've been coughing. I don't have COVID. And so I'm like literally trying to drink my gallon. And he's like, well, like whenever you're ready. And I'm like, bro, let me catch my breath real quick because goddamn.
But there are always questions like, what would you rate me out of 10? Like, what's the perfect dick size or whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
I always say things like that. I was
not expecting that.
And I think that most people would always kind of, because like if a girl came up to me and say was doing the exact same thing for YouTube, right? And it's like, ask me questions like that, right? Like, I think it would be weird if you came up and were like, you need to back up. Like, you can't be like doing that, right? Because like I saw that and I was like, oh, she's on Jesse's YouTube video. That's dope. And I walked away and I was like training with my clients or whatever. But I think that like being overly protective and just getting so emotionally jealous about everything, like you just got to be secure in your relationship and be like, okay, I know that they're not going to disrespect me. And, and I know that they're not going to intentionally disrespect me. But you also have to remember that every person sees every scenario differently, right?
Yeah.
Like, I could look at, is abortion wrong or right? I could.
Oh, we're not going to use a different scenario.
Okay. Let's just, are women supposed to always cook food? Right? Or something like that. We could look at it completely different ways. No one's right or wrong. That's just the opinion that you're entitled to. And that's just the way that you think or anything like that. If those opinions don't match, like that's okay. Like it's not the end of the world, right? You don't have to constantly agree.
People are going to come at you because you're using two horrible examples.
I'm just saying, I didn't take a stance on them. I'm just saying for an example. You know what I mean?
I know, but you already know we were going to come at you.
Okay. Do the next question. Okay. Last one.
Before Joe goes on another ramble about random things.
Really? You just got to tell me to shut up, babe.
I don't want to be rude.
Oh, you don't want to be rude? Really? You were rude to everyone else, so. Which one? Read it out.
I don't know which one.
I don't know which one you're pointing at.
There's all these.
Pick
which
one,
do you want to pick? I don't know. Oh, we did that one already.
Any day now. Just pick one.
Okay. I guess we'll do this one. How do y'all learn to adapt with each other's differences, attitude, personality traits?
Side question. Well, it kind of relates to that. I think one thing is, and this is what Nick was talking about, understanding traumas people bring from past relationships is important because you're going to have a lot more triggers based on like the things that you go through. Do you feel like I had a lot of traumas coming into our relationship?
Yes.
Like what?
You want me exposing you on camera?
Like what? No, like what traumas? Because I'm genuinely...
I feel like you had trauma with like...
Go ahead. Say it. Speak your mind.
When we first met, you were definitely really clingy.
Yeah, okay. I'm always like that.
Not as much anymore.
Yeah,
you've definitely been working through those traumas.
I got you now.
But like,
I don't gotta be super clingy.
You had.
No, I was clingy. I was clingy.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. He got a little bit trauma.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I was a little clingy for sure. What else? You said that I had a lot, so go ahead, spit them out.
And I feel like that, and then like you would get really defensive when I would like ask you questions.
Yeah, because you would interrogate me. You would fucking interrogate me, and this is what I'm saying. Like you can see, so Alyssa doesn't see it as interrogating.
I don't see it as. I see. She doesn't see it as interrogating. Curious and be like
her being curious, but like, why is the towel on the floor?
And I have a freaking.
Why is the shampoo moved?
My mom gave birth to this art.
Why is this on the desk?
Also, I'm just very OCD about those things.
No,
I am.
No.
I've learned this because I was literally cleaning the house yesterday, and I had to make sure I put everything back where
hang on. No, we're not talking about you being OCD. I'm talking about when we first met. Every little thing that would like happen, you would just like question it. But that just came from like all the things that they came from trauma. But I'm saying like understanding that. And you still, I love you, man, you still are working through those right now because sometimes she will ask me questions that to me, I'm just like, why? Like, you know the answer to this. Why are you asking me? Like, she'll just be like, why is your towel on the floor? And I'm like, because it's dirty, I put it on the floor, and like she acts like that's a new thing for me to do.
It drives me crazy.
Okay, I'm maybe not the towel scenario, but I'm saying
scenario. This is why it drives me crazy. Okay, this is why it drives me crazy. The towel is wet, semi-wet. It sits on the floor. It starts to stink. The floor starts to stink.
Okay, hang on. Okay, just you're rambling. Okay,
I'm not rambling.
No, this situation happened one time when I worked at when the old Athlete gym was open. When I worked there, it was a 5-minute drive to the apartment. Almost every single night, I would FaceTime her on the way home, and I would sit in the car, and she'd be like, "Hey babe, how's work?" And I was like, "Oh, it was okay." And she'd be like, "Oh, that's good. What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm watching TV." And we would just sit there, and we would be on FaceTime, but like nothing would happen. And every time I went through the tunnel, I would lose connection anyway. I'd have to re-FaceTime her, and it was a 5-minute car ride home. So one night, I was just like, "Hey babe, I just got off work. I'm headed home." And I didn't FaceTime her, and she was asleep because she didn't text me back, so she was asleep. And I show up back home, and she was like so concerned. She's like so confused. Like, well, why didn't you FaceTime me? And I was like,
no, this is what it was. Okay, you didn't have a car. I remember. You didn't have a car.
No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that time. It wasn't that time. But I mean,
that
was another one too. But like, she was like, well, why didn't you FaceTime me? And it was like, because I was like almost home and you didn't text me back, so I figured you were asleep. It's like 12:30 at night. Like I assumed you fell asleep on the couch. And she was like not like mad, but like just worked up over it. But like, but why? But you always FaceTime me. And it was like, yeah, but I know, but I don't know. That like wasn't. And she was like, well, did you like stop somewhere? And I'm like, no, but like I just didn't think about it. Like I was listening. I think it was Christmas time. I was listening to a Christmas song. Like I was really enjoying the song. So like I wanted to listen to it. And it was not, instead of just being like, oh, okay. It was just like, but why? And she just kept asking me. I was like, I don't know.
I need to know.
But like the other one that she was talking about, like I didn't have a car. I was on I was on TikTok Live. I was
more mad that he didn't freaking call me because I could have picked him up.
I was on TikTok Live, so I forgot to text her like, hey babe, I'm done with my workout. Can you come pick me up? And I was like, oh shit. And one of the guys that worked at the gym lived right next door to us. So I was like, hey, can you take me home? He was like, yeah, I got you. And I was like, all right, cool. And I'm still on TikTok Live, and then I finally get in the car. Everyone's kind of getting off the live, and I was like, all right, cool. All right, guys, we'll see you tomorrow or whatever. And he stopped to get gas, and we were coming back home, and like we were down the street, like gas station literally down the street. Like pull in, go upstairs, unlock it. Alyssa's like, why didn't you call me? And I was like, oh, Joe gave me a ride home. He was coming home, like, I was at the gym until they closed. He was walking out at the same time. I forgot to text you, like, and she's like, but I'm so close. Why didn't you just text me? And I'm like, oh, I could have just come home. And she was like, but the gym closed at 10. It's 10:30 now. Like, what took you so long to get home?
The math wasn't math then. I was like, find out he walked at night.
Yeah, she was so worked up that I was going to walk. I was like, why would I walk 2 miles home when I could have just called you or just gotten a ride? Like I wouldn't walk home.
I know, because you didn't call me.
And she goes, are you sure you didn't walk? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, are you lying to me? And I'm like, no. And she's like, well, why are you all sweaty? And I'm like, because I just worked out. Like she was, and so that happened a lot at the beginning of our relationship. And you've had phases where like you'll go through a little period where like you
want to expose me?
Yeah, you'll just interrogate me, and I'll be like,
expose you.
Okay, expose me.
No.
Yeah, so you don't have anything to expose.
I do have a lot to say.
No, you don't.
Yes, I
do. And she would do stuff like that. But I'm just saying, like, anyway, the general question was just understanding those traumas, because I would always get really frustrated and triggered by it. But now, you know, and talking to Nick about a lot of this stuff, because Nick's are both of our mentors and whatnot. But you know, now a lot of the times when that happens, I go, okay. Like sometimes I get frustrated. Well, like argue, I'll kind of like walk away and I'll be like, okay. And I'll go back down and be like, hey, babe, I'm sorry it made you feel like, you know, I'm sorry it made it seem like I was trying to avoid spending time with you. Like I'm just trying to focus on this. And I just would always now I just clarify it. And then she's like, okay, that's all you had to say. But men in general struggle with communication.
Yes or no? Choose to struggle with communication.
I'm never going to win here. Anyway, go ahead, expose me. You had so much to say.
No.
Choosing not to? Yeah. Choosing to be merciful?
Yeah, just this once.
I appreciate that.
No.
You're not going to shake my hand?
No.
Do you not want me to get you dinner?
Hand hug. Choose. No, you got to bring your hand.
I don't want to.
Yay.
But yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. It's just learning each other's love languages and just learning how to communicate.
Yeah. I feel like it's just being very understanding too, because like you're two people with growing up differently with different traumas. There's going to be issues, there's going to be problems, but it's just learning how to work together to solve and fix those problems.
100%. And just being communicative helps a lot. Sometimes Alyssa and I will fight and we'll be like, do you realize we're literally fighting over a couch cushion? And then she's just like, no. And I'm like, that's how this argument started. And we somehow went from couch cushion to whatever the whole thing is. Yeah. Well, you did this. And it's like,
yeah, you did this.
Okay, is it really that big of a deal for couch cushion? So that's why sometimes like if we're fighting, we'll just like, I'll be like, time out, I need space. And we'll just walk away and then we'll come back and we'll be like, all right, yeah. I'm sorry. That was dumb. I don't know why we're fighting over couch cushion. But then again, you also don't fight if you just put in a lot more effort. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's your turn for date night, by the way. What my birthday's coming up. What are you gonna do for my birthday? Tell everyone.
Well, Friday.
I'll close my ears. Where are you taking me on Friday?
Friday we're going out to eat. I'm not telling you where yet.
Well, I gotta know so I can get clothes. I gotta order a new outfit.
I already got you covered.
You got me new clothes?
You just ruined the surprise, but
it's not a surprise. You ruined it. You said I got you covered. You could have been like, yeah, babe, you gotta order clothes.
I got you covered, like for the occasion.
Anyway, what else is planned?
So that, and then obviously your presents are going to be in the morning, and then I'm also making you breakfast in the morning. Also, are you taking Friday off?
Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Good. It's birthday weekend. Yeah. I'm a Leo, so I like going big for the birthday.
Go home.
All right.
That's what's happening Friday.
Yeah, that's what's happening. We'll fill you guys in on all the details. Yeah. Don't worry, we'll have a post-birthday shenanigans podcast because we're gonna be talking about a lot of shit because we're definitely going to the club multiple times. So
oh god, I'm not ready. My liver.
That'll be the last sender bender of the year.
Yeah. Literally.
That's what we say.
Till my birthday.
Till your birthday, and then another sender bender for the year. All right, this is the new Anaka drop.
Yay.
This should be out in time. This is going to be this Saturday, June 23rd, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. 22 shirts, 12 shorts.
I love every single item in this drop.
Biggest drop since Black Friday.
Yep.
Probably a lot of restocks. All the supplements are still in stock. Like, if you were ever going to get Ainaka, get it now because this drop is definitely one of the best ones. Yes, all the summer colors. 12 basic colored shorts. You got pink, slime green, yellow, orange, purple, black, gray, cream. Did I say cream? Mm-hmm. Maroon, navy. Like, you have every single color. You can style it with anything. All the shirts are just amazing. And I like these style shirts because I can match these. Like, I could wear this to the club.
Yeah, you can wear this to the club.
I could literally wear this to the club. I could wear it to go out. Like, it's like a nice, shirt. And then if I just go out, I just roll up the sleeves a little bit. So, Anaka Power, code Swolemates. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have 1 or 2 more sponsors so that way we can keep plugging more things.
Yes.
Zephyr Collections. For this chain is from Zephyr. This is the chain I wear literally every day. I also have a gold one, and then all the joggers that I wear, I only really wear Zephyr joggers. Code joeebro for that one. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you guys on the next episode.
Bye.
Laters.